Right then, so let's have a little bit of fun with this sunflower. A little bit of a quirky technique I just came across having a bit of a play, because again, it's one of those things that you can look at the finished samples and look at what we do, and I and the team, and think, whoa, okay, if you're new to it, that don't know how they got that, don't know how they got there. Let me show you how absolutely kind of free and easy, and just, well, it's called scribbly. It's scribbly colouring. That's it. I'll have a look. It'll be clearer. Have a look at this. So the first thing is, this is what we're going to start off with. This little stamped thing here. I've stamped the sunflower, the wireframe version, using a pale distressing. Either, I think I used linen or old paper, something like that. Just enough to see, but as pale as you can get it and still see it. Next thing I'm going to do is going to pick a pen, and the micron pens I'm absolutely loving. And what I would say is find a set that has a smaller nib in it, 0.1 or 0.3, maybe a 0.5, 0.5. I'll use a 0.3. So what I'm going to do, the idea here is I am out of my comfort zone, right? I'm not doing what I would normally do. I'm wanting to draw wibbly wobbly, without precision, and make it look a little bit looser and quirkier than I would normally draw. But that isn't easy if that's not your natural drawing style, and it isn't mine. So it takes some getting used to. So don't think, oh, she does this all the time, or that, you know, this is what you do. It doesn't always help, because it's like this is when you're used to doing something a certain way, it's much more difficult to unlearn than to do it like that in the first place. So if you have not got the steadiest of hands, brilliant. This is the one for you. If you have got a steady hand, have maybe 10 cups of coffee or something and try it again. You'll find it's much easier. Or just be in my presence for a while, you know. You'll find you'll be like, whoa, bit shaky, you know, people do. But anyway, so I'm going around. Now, the other thing I'm doing to help me with this is I'm holding the pen. Look how far back I'm holding the pen. If I was drawing this in a more precise fashion, my hand would be much closer to the nib, and I would be anchoring my hand, and I would want like precision, and I'd make sure I've got a much better stability while I was drawing. But I'm deliberately making it more difficult to get that look by holding the pen way back. And if the lines look broken sometimes as well, that's great. And also I should mention, don't feel you have to be precision on going on top of the lines that I've got there. Ignore some of them. Put some new ones in if you want. It doesn't matter. What you're doing is you're creating this really fun, loose, original, quirky outline, and that's it. And look, I'm not even going where that leaf is. I might want to I might even put another leaf in there. Look. Yeah, there's another leaf. I might put another leaf there, because I can. All right, and then we put a little bit there, a little bit. Look, not super detailed, because we're going to go over the top with this and detail it in a little bit more shortly. So I'm not really putting any more than that in. That's it. That'll do. Right, I'm not going to continue with that anymore right now, because I've got one I went a little bit further on. Oh, before I do, let me show you. So some of these, pick them out. Some of them you don't need to. Maybe you want to make a little bit more squiggles around the base of these. And what that'll do is, like when I'm drawing the stamps, it'll make this look a bit darker around there. So it'll make your domed centre of your sunflower look a little bit more curved. Right, so we've got that going on there. The other thing to do, if it's right, you've got a wireframe, but we can play around a little bit more. So you can, look, this is where the scribbles are starting. Scribbles are starting already, all right? I'm going a little bit scribbly, where I'm thinking the line might be a little bit weightier, a little bit thicker. And I'm still holding the pen a little bit further back, and I can pick out some of these petals where I think maybe the shadow's going to be falling down here, maybe at the base of there, and go scribbly. Look. Oh, look at me, scribbling. I don't care. Look at that. Okay, still holding the pen further back. Scribble, scribble, scribble. So I'm now kind of shading, but with complete and utter just freedom. A little bit of that. See how it's coming together? Right, let me show you one I did earlier, right? That I've taken a little bit further and I stamped a little bee in there and I did the same thing. And these little wings, maybe I'll thicken these wings at the base here. So it's got a little bit of a shadow there in his wings. That's now ready for the next stage, which is going to be a big brush with some water. Now make sure you, this is important, Micron pens or the Faber-Castell pens online, they also make sure they're waterproof, archival and waterproof. They need to be water resistant ink, because if you do what I'm going to do now and it's not, you'll know you're going to have a black splodgy mess. So like when you stamp with black soot distress ink and you blend the line, that's what you're going to get. So the next thing is, I might even just use this brush. I've decided I'm just going to do it. So I'm going to pick up some yellow and I'm going to splodge in the middle of the sunflower. Then I'm going to put a little bit of brown around the middle, then the edges, not the middle, the edges, like that. Like if you're not feeling like you want to use a huge brush like this, that's fine to use a smaller brush if you want. But the idea is I'm going loose with the colour, all right? We're going sort of where the flower is, but not precisely where the flower is, because I want the colour. That's why I wet the card a lot. I want it to wick outside a little bit of that area. Let me put a little bit around there. And this is going to create the underpainting for what we're going to do next. So this is not the whole story. This is just the start of the story. So just want a little bit of colour. But the longer you leave this, the more that will wick. See how I've just dried my brush and I've picked out a little bit of the colour there. And now I've got a highlight there if I want it. But I'm going to pop a little bit more of that brown so I can make it a little bit more controlled if I want to, like that. See? I picked a little bit out, put a little bit more back in. It's a little bit strong there, so I'm going to pop a little bit more of the yellow. Let me show you what we've got close up. I'm going to dry this now, okay? And then we're going to go over the top with gel pens and fine liners. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute while I dry this as quickly as I can. Okay, I should have mentioned as well, you can see how much water I added to that. You're going to need a good 300, 280 GSM card because you're going to be putting it through its pieces. But I actually think that looks really cool as it is. If you want to intensify some of that colour, go ahead and do what we just did again and it'll build up and the colour, watercolour always dries paler. But here's what we're going to play with now. This is just super fun. So, packet of fine liners, like lovely Lisa Horton's pack of fine liners here, and I'm going to pick out some colours, and I'm going to use orange, and I'm going to use a reddish colour. I'm going to use obviously green and a couple of darker greens. And if you look, I've got the little colours on the top here. Can you see that there? Yeah, they're the colours I'm picking out from. And I think maybe a brownie colour. And that one. So you're not going to know what you've got until you take them out and have a bit of a look. So if you're not sure, get a bit of scrap paper and have a bit of a scribble. So the first thing we're going to do, we want a yellowy colour, orange yellow. That's great. We can play with that. That's a good one. Keeping that. And see what that one, this one, I don't know if it's paler or darker. Oh, paler. That's great. Right, start with that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this and I'm going to start scribbling, might be a little bit too pale, but we'll see, around the outside and over the petals like that. This is almost like fluorescent orange. Love it. Okay, like this. And you're thinking, well, what's she doing? It's gone all a little bit even more, a bit more crazy, but that's fine because what we're doing is that yellow was just the undercoat and now we're giving it crazy texture. And pops of colour, but without having to colour the whole thing in. Your eye thinks the whole thing's darker just by popping that little bit of the colour in random. Well, not random. I'm putting a little bit on the tip and a little bit more maybe at the base, but scribbling still. And you can see where I've done it. It's looking more glowy. It's warmer. And that's just that one colour, and I'm speed colouring here. Really notice how much care I'm not taking. And that's when I teach workshops. That's when you say, okay, here's the thing, just do it. Just seize the day. Don't overthink it. In fact, just don't think if you can help it. That try and avoid it. And then just do it. Just have a good play, bit of a scribble. We've already got a good start with that one. I'm going to go now over with this darker orange, and this is going to bring out that detail even more. So yellow isn't going to show up very much. We're not going to see much. We're not going to get much payback by using a yellow because it's already quite pale. So I'm using an orangey colour for the petals on the sunflower. We've got the yellow in the underpainting, but with this, we're literally just adding some of that scribbly cool textures, and it's about layering it. When you first get the first one down, you think, oh, I don't know, but when we start adding more and more, it looks cooler and cooler. So see, again, just sort of, this is what, I don't know, it was something I was playing with, and I thought, you know, how do I get out of my comfort zone and really just go for it? What happens if I do this? And whoa, I think that looks really cool. I just really like that look. So I've called it scribble colouring. I'm quite literal. You know, and maybe if somebody else on another parallel dimension, because, you know, you think you've done something, you come to it in your own way, and then somebody else is doing it, it's got a name, and it's a phenomenon on the internet. But hey ho, you know, you've discovered it yourself. You've come to your own, like I say, come to it in a experiential way, and so I'm calling it scribble colouring. And you can't get any more kind of less intimidating than scribble, can you? Okay. And this is where you can define that edge a little bit if you've lost a little bit of the detail on the leaf. So we're scribbled with a lighter green, always lighter first. Then I'm going to scribble with a darker green. And the darker green is going to be more at the bottom and around the petals. Create a little bit of shading. Think of a, well, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but think of like a spider with no sense of direction. Right? Yeah. Not my favourite, the arachnid, I'll be honest. But that's who I'm channeling, okay? Doesn't know where it's going. I'm going here, no, I'm going there, I'm going there, no, I'll go there. Right, I'll stay here, no, I'll go around there. Yeah, I'm off again. Okay. Now, don't think you've got to stick to the obvious colours either. You know, who's to say I'm not going to get a bit of purple into this? What? I might just do that, because then maybe a purple will give me a little bit of a contrasting shade. Yeah, that might be cool. Might give it a try. I'm using this darker kind of sage green now. Again, scribbling. And it becomes like a kind of impressionist painting where all these scribbles, when they layer up, then make another new colour. It's kind of like you're mixing by scribbling on the paper. Yeah, right, okay, I've decided. Well, I've got brownie colours here, I think. Yep, that one. And then, yeah, let's do that one. And so, and finally, white gel pen. Right, so we'll colour some of these little bits in the middle, white now, where the centre is going to, where the texture is in the centre of the sunflower. And a bit just there. And then we're just about done. But that's I think it's a fun thing to play and a good exercise to try to see just how brave you're willing to be in getting as loose as you can with your drawing, and seeing that, you know, to be a good artist, to be great art, you don't have to draw precisely. In fact, it's more fun if you can let it go. There you go. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Thank you very much. That's just a tiny little, not even a scratch in the iceberg of what you can do with this. And share. Love to see what you're making with it. Thank you for watching. Take care.